Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Special Editions Bundle of February 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and have the opportunity to gain early access to videos by buying a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. Your support means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate. Before we begin, I would like to thank Cultist of Borg for donating to the channel with the Super Thanks button. I so truly appreciate your continuous support beyond words can say, and you are super awesome. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Cultist Simulator Anthology Edition, a compelling and atmospheric single-player narrative card game set in the 1920s. Your goal is to establish a Lovecraftian cult by collecting and studying unspeakable grimoires, carrying out rituals, and attracting followers. The game starts with basic cards and tiles, and as time passes, you'll acquire more cards and tiles by placing them in various verb tiles like study, explore, dream, and talk. However, threats such as illness, dread, financial struggles, and unwanted attention from journalists and cops constantly challenge your survival and sanity. Managing these threats along with your occult studies, finances, and health can be exhausting, but you can pause the game to strategize and plan your next moves. If you fail, you restart from the beginning, armed with the knowledge you've gained and the choice of a new starting scenario. Forming a cult becomes a major focus in the game, and you'll gather a library of lore, translate texts, and choose guiding principles for your cult. Attracting followers allows you to send them on errands, explore the city, deal with investigators, or embark on expeditions. Each game offers a blend of fresh experiences and growing familiarity, with different approaches and the reappearance of cards and characters from previous games. While the game can be lengthy, and some actions may feel repetitive, the writing is brilliant, creating intrigue and painting a vivid picture of the alternate history world. Cultist Simulator is an engrossing game that combines elements of Lovecraftian horror, card gameplay, and immersive storytelling to deliver a unique and captivating experience. The Anthology Edition includes more stories, locations, ascensions, and brand new game mechanics. At number 2 we have Frostpunk Game of the Year Edition, a gripping city-building survival strategy game set in the frozen Arctic wasteland. As the ruler of a struggling city, you must manage resources, handle crises, and make tough decisions to ensure the survival of your citizens. The game combines city-building elements with society simulation and crisis management mechanics, creating a tense and challenging experience. In the desolate 1800s world of Frostpunk, your city relies on a massive coal furnace for warmth. You'll construct buildings, gather resources, and research new technologies to keep your citizens alive in the freezing conditions. Every decision matters, as discontent and hope levels significantly impact your city's well-being. You'll face moral dilemmas, like choosing between short-term fixes and long-term solutions, or passing laws that may have adverse consequences. Frostpunk excels at immersing players in the burden of leadership. The game constantly challenges your abilities as a leader, making you weigh the needs of your citizens against harsh realities. The society simulator aspect adds depth, with the option to rule with order and discipline, or faith and spirituality, each choice affecting the people's morale. Scouting the frozen world beyond your city brings new challenges and discoveries, but it also means more responsibilities and resources needed. The game's art design and style create a captivating and grim atmosphere, depicting the struggles of a frozen world. While Frostpunk offers great replayability with different scenarios and choices, the campaign itself lasts about 45 days. The game's bird's-eye view perspective, however, prevents players from connecting closely with individual citizens, which may be a drawback for some. Overall, Frostpunk is a compelling and addictive survival management game that forces players to confront difficult choices and challenges. Its extraordinary style, engrossing gameplay, and tense atmosphere make it a standout title in the city-building and strategy genre. The Game of the Year Edition offers a trio of expansions that enrich the Frostpunk universe. The Rifts is the initial mini-expansion, featuring a new endless mode map and the constructible building, The Bridge. The Last Autumn expands the game significantly with a new scenario, introducing transformative mechanics and unique architecture that deepen Frostpunk's lore and narrative. And lastly, On the Edge delves into the tale of new London citizens dispatched on a crucial mission following the Great Storm. At number 3 we have Wolfenstein The 2-Pack, a pack of 2 thrilling shooters that dive deep into alternate history, Wolfenstein The New Order and Wolfenstein The Old Blood. Both games immerse you in Nazi-dominated worlds, but each offers a unique twist on the classic first-person shooter formula. The New Order reimagines a world where the Nazis won World War II, blending exceptional storytelling with brutal action. Set in 1960, you step into the boots of an older, battle-hardened BJ Blazkowicz. The story excels, driven by well-written characters and deeply polished cutscenes. The game's fluid combat feels satisfying, with a variety of weapons and alternate history tech like laser rifles. While the stealth mechanics and skill progression add depth, occasional texture pop-ins and cumbersome item collection can break immersion. Still, the game's exploration of a hauntingly believable Nazi future makes it a standout in the shooter genre. The Old Blood, a standalone prequel, shifts the tone to an intense, combat-heavy experience. Set in the late 40s, it ditches the nuanced storytelling of its predecessor in favor of relentless action and over-the-top Nazi zombie carnage. The stealth puzzles provide some strategic moments, but the latter half's zombie-filled chaos feels like a step back in innovation. Despite that, the arenas are engaging, offering plenty of opportunities for creative gunplay, even if none of the weapons truly stand out. However, much like the New Order, the clunky item collection process and predictable enemy types can feel tedious. In the end, the Wolfenstein 2-pack is a thrilling ride that balances heartfelt moments with blood-soaked action, even if the Old Blood sacrifices some of the heart found in the New Order. At number 4 we have Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 1 and 2-pack. A side-scrolling run-and-gun shooter that throws you into a world of mobsters, zombies, and absolute chaos. Inspired by Metal Slug and classic arcade shoot-em-ups, these games deliver non-stop action, over-the-top gore, and a darkly humorous 1920s setting. In the first game, you step into the shoes of Vinnie Cannoli, a wisecracking mobster sent to retrieve Frankie the Fly from the zombie-infested city of Thugtown. What starts as a simple job turns into an all-out war against undead hordes, rival gangsters, and a deeper conspiracy. The gameplay is tight, with satisfying gunplay, diverse enemy types, and a beautifully animated hand-drawn art style. You'll wield everything from Tommy guns to flamethrowers, while dodging bullets and tearing through waves of enemies. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2 cranks up the action, bringing new weapons, 360-degree aiming, and even more enemies to blast apart. This time, Vinny is on the run, fighting not just zombies, but also Nazis, rival mobs, and the mysterious Dark Dawn. The game refines the formula with improved movement, expanded co-op play, and explosive set pieces. However, the shift to twin-stick shooting may take some getting used to. Both games nail their mobster meets undead atmosphere with sharp humor, stylish visuals, and relentless gunfights. If you love over-the-top action, dark humor, and a splash of old-school challenge, this pack is a must-play. Just be ready for a blood-soaked ride through Prohibition-era mayhem. At number 5 we have Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition, a massive RPG that blends post-apocalyptic survival, open-world exploration, and gripping narrative choices. Set in a world devastated by nuclear war, you play as the Courier, a lone wanderer seeking revenge after being shot and left for dead. As you navigate the Mojave Desert, the neon-lit ruins of New Vegas, and surrounding regions, you'll encounter various factions, each vying for control. Your choices will impact alliances with groups like the New Californian Republic, Caesar's Legion, and Mr. House, as well as smaller towns and settlements. The Ultimate Edition includes the base game and 4 DLC expansions, offering over 100 hours of content. These expansions, like Dead Money and Old World Blues, introduce new stories, unique environments, and challenging enemies. You'll need to adapt to each situation, whether you're scavenging for survival or managing your limited resources in a harsh wasteland. The gameplay offers a mix of real-time combat and strategic use of the VATS system, allowing for cinematic slow-motion targeting. You can customize your character through perks, skills, and attributes, making each playthrough feel personal. The game's non-linear design encourages exploration, and you are free to take on quests in any order, shaping your own path. With immersive storytelling, vast exploration, and deep RPG mechanics, Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition stands as one of the best post-apocalyptic experiences, giving you the freedom to shape the fate of the Mojave Wasteland. At number 6 we have Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, an open-world FPS RPG game that was ahead of its time when it was first released in 2008. Set 200 years after the Great War, you play as the Lone Wanderer, a vault dweller in Vault 101. Having spent your entire life in the vault, you have no idea what life is like outside the vault, besides the grim warnings by the vault's overseers about the dangers outside. You soon escape the confines of Vault 101 to find your missing father. What you walk out to is the capital wasteland, the remains of the once great Washington, D.C., filled with radioactive monsters and bandits. The story, lore, and world are very extensive, and you might get lost as to who is who and what is what. Even after a few dozen hours of playing the game, you'll still be discovering new things and hearing new dialogue. You have a lot of options right off the bat. You can surrender your weapon to the Overseer and leave the vault peacefully, or kill him and fight your way out, which will upset his daughter. The beginning can be quite slow, but if you stick with it, you'll have a very enriching RPG experience. Being made in 2008, naturally, the graphics didn't age very well. The world is not beautiful as what games are today with low textures and ugly character models. In saying that, while the wasteland of a world feels empty, there's enough interesting things peppered around that never leaves it feeling barren. This game is very much a black comedy, with some very strange things happening in its post-apocalyptic setting, like bomb-worshipping cults, talking trees, two-headed cows, etc, etc. But this also gives variety to the world and quests that you'll take on. Side quests are the highlight of this game, as the main story mainly revolves around your father trying to bring clean water to the wasteland, which would be okay if Liam Neeson actually had any charisma in his voice acting as your father. Thankfully, side quests are where the strange, the funny, and the entertaining lie, and they're definitely worth playing through. The combat feels okay, probably great for its time. The VATS system in particular comes very handy when you're trying to shoot somebody's face multiple times. Fallout 3 is one of the most satisfying RPGs to go in, pick a direction and walk, just to see what you can find. Additionally, there are plenty of mods to give you a better experience if the 2008 experience really bothers you. If you haven't taken this journey yet, you definitely want to venture into the Washington, D.C. wasteland. At number 7 we have 8-Bit Armies Complete Edition, a retro-inspired real-time strategy game developed by Petroglyph, a studio formed by ex-Westwood Studios developers. Designed as a streamlined take on Command & Conquer, it features a voxel-based aesthetic and simple, accessible gameplay. This edition includes campaigns for 2 factions, the Renegades and the Guardians, alongside co-op and skirmish multiplayer modes. If you love classic RTS games, you'll appreciate the clear Command & Conquer DNA here. The game's units, like heavy tanks and specters, feel like direct homages to Westwood's legendary series. The blocky voxel-based visuals may not appeal to everyone, but they provide a distinct charm. Audio is another highlight, blending 8-bit sound effects with a modern soundtrack by Frank Klepacki, the composer behind Command & Conquer's iconic music. With a variety of modes, including a single-player campaign, co-op missions, and up to 8-player skirmishes, there's plenty to dive into. The single-player campaign is basic, offering a linear sequence of missions with little narrative depth. Strategy is also minimal. On lower difficulties, brute force is often enough to win. Multiplayer could have been a saving grace, but with an inactive player base, finding online matches is difficult. 8-Bit Armies is a fun, lightweight RTS that captures the feel of classic Command & Conquer, but lacks depth. If you have friends to play with, it is worth trying, or getting it in a bundle. At number 8 we have Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga, and Legends DLC Double Pack, a tactical RPG that blends deep strategy with JRPG-inspired storytelling. If you enjoy games like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, you'll find plenty to love here. The base game revolves around commanding an army of customizable squads, each containing up to 9 units. Instead of focusing on individual heroes, you build and optimize entire formations, balancing classes, equipment, and leadership stats. Combat is grid-based, rewarding smart positioning and synergy between squads. With 30 main missions, side quests, and arena battles, there's plenty to sink your teeth into. The story leans into familiar fantasy tropes, but its engaging tactical gameplay more than make up for it. The Legends DLC expands on this by introducing 8 new missions and a new Game Plus mode. This lets you tweak difficulty, carry over characters, and experiment with different strategies. Additional jobs like the Necromancer further enhance squad customization, making each playthrough feel unique. A visual upgrade featuring stunning new character portraits adds extra polish to an already well-presented game. If you enjoy deep tactical mechanics, army building, and experimenting with different strategies, this double pack is a fantastic pick. The story may not be groundbreaking, but the sheer depth of gameplay ensures you'll keep coming back for more. Whether you're new to the game or diving in for a second run, there's plenty to discover. At number 9 we have Aura, Action, and RPG Triple Pack, a collection of 3 distinct indie games blending sci-fi, roguelike action, and Souls-like RPG mechanics. Each game offers a unique experience, from strategic battles on the moon to fast-paced alien survival and an epic sand-covered adventure. Lunarlux combines turn-based strategy with action elements, setting you on a sci-fi journey to save the moon from antimatter creatures called the Mercs. You play as Bella, a determined Luna warrior, navigating a beautifully crafted world filled with deep lore and engaging characters. Combat mixes tactical planning with flashy abilities, and exploration rewards you with secrets and upgrades, making for a compelling spacefaring RPG. Defend Earth Xenos survivors shifts gears into pure chaos, throwing you into relentless bullet hell battles against swarms of alien invaders. Every run lasts 10 to 20 minutes, testing your reflexes and build strategies as you unlock new weapons and skills. While the action is intense and the upgrades satisfying, the gameplay loop can feel repetitive over time. Still, if you're a fan of roguelites, this offers plenty of frantic fun. Sands of Aura delivers a dark fantasy world buried under endless sand, blending Diablo-style exploration with Souls-like combat. You take on the role of a remnant knight, seeking to restore balance, battling brutal enemies and uncovering deep lore. The vast world is stunning, but its lack of maps and heavy grind mechanics might test your patience. Overall, this pack offers something for strategy lovers, action seekers, and hardcore RPG fans alike. At number 10 we have Pixel-Powered Action Double Pack. This pack delivers a 1-2 punch of stunning pixel artistry and intense gameplay. This collection features 9 Years of Shadow, a breathtaking Metroidvania infused with magic and music, and Vengeance of Mr. Peppermint, a brutal Tarantino-inspired beat-em-up filled with stylish violence. 9 Years of Shadows immerses you in a world drained of color, where you guide Europa through a haunting castle to restore life using light magic. Combat is fluid, with each strike restoring your energy and magic, encouraging aggressive play. Instead of leveling up, you upgrade your armor and abilities, adapting to enemies through a dynamic color-coded system. The visuals are nothing short of stunning, and the soundtrack, blending soothing melodies and jazzy beats, completes the experience. Boss fights hit hard, and a lack of checkpoints adds real tension, forcing you to stay sharp. Meanwhile, Vengeance of Mr. Peppermint drops you into a blood-soaked revenge tale inspired by Kill Bill and Oldboy. As Lim Jeong, you fight through a cinematic pixelated world, dishing out brutal combos and finishing moves against waves of enemies. Every encounter feels like a high-stakes brawl, with tight, responsive controls. The game thrives on its intense action and homage to classic revenge films, but enemy variety is limited, making some sections feel repetitive. Both games bring something fresh, one through artistic storytelling, and the other through relentless action. If you love pixel-powered intensity, this pack is a must-play. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is a straight-up W for gamers looking to stack their libraries without draining their wallets. You're getting a fire mix of hyped titles and hidden gems, making it an easy GG for budget hunters. If the lineup speaks to you, don't sleep on this deal. It is worth a grab. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider unlocking early access to videos by buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.